I feel like I can't fully trust people who don't refrigerate their ketchup.
Daddy, 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 daddy.
Love when continuity doesn't fucking matter. Oh, wait. I don't love that.
Of the subject of squirting, even though it happens a lot in this book.
I have no idea why we need the FMC to be so fucking stupid.
Bitch, I don't even live in the state.
Meanwhile,
this lady learns what an orgasm is.
Seriously, what the fuck, dude?
Hello.
I need to go online because I got this letter from EasyPass in the mail saying that I owe them money, which is strange because I need to go onto my EasyPass because I don't know if my thingy died or what, because I definitely was using my doohickey when I went through.
It's fine. I get spam text messages. I'm assuming
I get
they're
those
spam, where it's
all
like,
the
you
time.
need to pay your EasyPass.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, I don't even live in the state.
Yeah.
Or I get it for the Florida version too. And I'm like, dude, I don't know who you think I am, but first of all, I don't even pay for my tolls. Spencer does, because I have the toll pass and that comes out of his account.
I have the EasyPass thing on my window, on my windshield. That's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know why they're sending me a bill. I mean, it's $2, but like, why didn't it come out of my doohickey?
Yeah. Oh my God, we got a comment on the Little Strangers.
Yeah.
And they said, LOL, you guys sound like you don't like each other.
Yeah, no.
I commented, I'm like, sometimes we sound like that. We've been friends for 20 years though, and sometimes we don't like each other. Sometimes that's so funny.
So the time before, I was listening to the episode or when I was editing and all that we were, and I don't know, it was making me think because you were talking about the whole made with love thing.
Yes.
And I gotta say, the more I listened and the more I heard, the more I just don't think that that's a true thing. I think that no, because
no, I get it. It's just a funny saying.
But I think the saying is probably more like you made with love, whereas like you raised with love, like they're making you in their mold. Too. Because I think that would still be valid in your story.
I know.
Because serial killers have children and they're perfectly fine. And like rapists' babies are, you know what I mean? Not automatically horrible people.
It wasn't even a saying that I came up with.
No, I know. But that's why I'm like, wait a second. I like way over got all into the whole thing.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Of course you did. So also coming back to a previous time, I did not mean to say that Minotaur Daddy was going to be in this book, and I didn't mean to predict it.
Seriously, what the fuck, dude? That was
I didn't realize I was gonna, and I was like, just kidding. That's probably not gonna happen. And guess what it did?
Jesus,
okay, but it's not as bad as some other books that we have read where it's been just daddy, 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 and now I have to give in so many people clips of me saying that word now. So I guess you're welcome. But I was not aware that that was going to be the case. But it must have, because it was in one of her other books, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was literally the reason why we were slightly hesitant about this book, but also hopeful that it was just that last book that we had read by this author, that it was like just that book and that vibe of that book, that we were going to give this author another go, because we were hoping that it wasn't going to be on daddy theme.
It wasn't as bad.
It was not.
Which is great for me.
Yes,
and it was a good amount through before they even said it. I read a book. Oh my God. I read a book the other day. Nope. I was reading a fan fiction. Not an actual book, but kind of a book. And there is one word in there that was in there. It was said, one specific word, 518 times. I looked. I could not get through. I had to stop reading.
Daddy was said that many times?
No, it was a different word. It means baby, but it's in another language. But it was said 518 times instead of the person's name. And I was like, Nope. I was 66% of the way through, stopped reading. I was like, I quite literally can't do this anymore. No, thank you. Like, I get it, but that was like when we read whatever fucking book and it was in there a lot. It actually probably was Daddy, to be honest.
Hmm.
We just don't like that word for some reason. Let's see what else. I don't know. I'm still on a TikTok drama is still my favorite thing on the planet. I love other people's drama that's not my own.
Yeah.
I love the tea.
So I have to say, I know we've been harping on this a lot lately, and I swear this is not a parenting podcast, but
Be
I
a
feel,
horrible parenting
yeah,
podcast.
I feel like I'm a horrible parent again this week.
Oh, do tell, do tell. You say that as
Not
I'm sitting here
because
literally drinking, though I do not have any children in my house. So there's that.
not because of something I
Unless you count
did,
myself.
more of the fact that I'm slightly perturbed or disappointed in my child because
Okay.
he is not in my likeness the way that I feel like he should be.
Okay.
So I learned today, on this day, I
On this
learned.
day.
And I don't know why it's taken 13 years of life for me to know this about my child, which I am horrified also.
Yeah.
But my child doesn't have an inner monologue.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He has that aphantasia with the anaralia stuff. Like he can't see pictures or words in his head.
Did you know that not a lot of people do have the inner monologue?
So between 30 to 50% of the population apparently do not, which blows my mind. But it is a significantly super small amount of ADHDers that don't, because most ADHD people have it.
I have an inner and outer monologue.
Yeah.
I talk to
I
myself
have
daily. I
all of it.
literally,
I have all the senses. He has almost none. I can
oh, weird.
smell things when I think of them. I
Oh, I
can
can't do that.
feel things when I think of them, like in my brain. Like the only thing he can do is taste.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have an inner fucking it is hell in my head because it's a constant stream of thought all the time. Like, why do you think I tell you to shut the fuck up sometimes? No, sorry. Why do you think I tell you to be quiet sometimes when I'm trying to write
No,
or read
shut the
or
fuck up
think? Because
is the correct word.
I don't actually say that though, but
I do.
but
I am a
because
worse parent. I actually say
I
it.
like when I'm writing like I am writing. I'm saying that in my head
Hmm.
as I write it. He does
Same.
not. I don't know how.
Same.
I'm like, how do you know what you're writing? It just comes out. How? How do you think? He just thinks.
If there's anybody else out there who listens to us and you don't have an inner
We went
monologue,
on a
can we?
TikTok. We went on a TikTok rabbit hole, like having adults like explain it. And he's like, yeah, that's what it's like. It's basically like a computer without a monitor. So the computer still works and it works well. It just doesn't have the screen to show sound and pictures.
Does he not dream?
So some of them can and some of them can't. He occasionally, yes, can.
That's so
So, which is
wild.
called waking aphantasia.
Huh.
So his is waking.
So we taught you guys something today. You did not know that this was the kind of podcast that you could learn things from. Not only do you learn how we love double penetration and sword crossing
But you
and
can also learn that I am
five
severely
dudes banging a woman, but we also
You
learn
can
about
also learn that I'm severely disappointed that my kid doesn't have conscious stream of thought in his head, and I don't understand how he thinks and reads and
and that
lives.
we have our own conversations in our brain. Honestly, I think that that works for it's kind of a
But
detriment to us because
I was sitting here in the living room with him. I'm like, but like, I was pointing. I'm like, well, look at that. Don't you in your head say that is a TV? No. Well, don't you say that is a window? No. Don't you know? Like, no, nothing. I said, well, what if I tell you to picture a squirrel? Well, if I try really, really, really hard, I could probably like maybe create one, but it doesn't automatically, if you don't say squirrel and it automatically pops in his head.
that's so weird.
Yeah.
I
Now you
don't
want to know about your own
know.
kid, don't you?
I just texted her.
I want to know what that text says now.
It just says, "Hey, can I call you real quick? I have a question." But she's
Yes.
not gonna.
Oh, yeah, she sucks at texting,
So I'm just
not
gonna call
sucks in
her.
general. Yeah. Please hold while we try to find the answer, like
Says,
the holding our breath question.
what is she doing? What is more important than talking to her mother?
Ping her.
I don't know what she's doing. Where is she?
Yeah, to look where she is first.
Oh, oh, ah. Hey, I have a question. I have a question for you. Do you like hear words in your head? Like, how do I explain this?
So this is how I asked it. I said, when you think, do you have words that come out in your head? Like when you're reading a book,
When you're
do
reading a book,
you
do you hear the words in your head?
like just like if you're reading out loud, but inside your head?
Sometimes. Like for me, if I'm gonna write something down, like say I'm gonna write down like car, in my brain I hear car and I can write it down. Does that happen to you? It happens to her.
Okay, she's normal, thank God.
Joey doesn't have that. He has no inner monologue.
He
Like
has no monitor.
I have like words that are consistently in my head like all the time.
Does she, oh, wait, hold on. Does she have pictures?
Do you see pictures sometimes in your head? Yes.
Okay, thank God.
Okay. Joey doesn't have any of that. It's blank in there. It's like a whiteboard. Huh?
That's what he's.
Can you what? Fine, fuck you. I love you.
Did she say, can I go?
Oh, I'm sorry. I love you. Enjoy. Bye. I can't do that. My fingers don't bend that way.
She
All right.
asked
Bye,
if she
baby.
could go.
Okay. Bye, baby. I love you. She goes, "Can I skedaddle now? I have to clean my room." It's the like the millennial, not it's the
Yeah,
Gen Z heart, this thing that I have a really fucking hard time doing.
me too.
But she just goes, "Foop," and I'm like,
Yeah,
my
I don't
finger
know.
does this.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
this is my half a heart,
yeah.
okay? Anyways, so my
So,
daughter's normal. I'm just kidding.
so I just birthed the freak. Okay, great.
I birthed a freak in other ways. Like, I don't even know.
Maybe
That's so
there is
funny.
something to
That's so crazy.
born of love. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
Made
just
with
kidding.
love.
Made with love.
Listen, okay, mine was made with the I was newly married and I was house sitting, okay? Mine was made with boredom in mind. Maybe that's why she doesn't do her schoolwork. Anyways, we're all terrible parents here. Anyways, this is not a parenting, but look, you guys learned something new.
The wild
Congratulations.
time in here.
Cheers. Sorry.
Meanwhile,
We
what we
learned, this lady learns what an orgasm is.
we learned that perhaps this author is not for us.
I like this one
We'll
better
let
than
you
I like the
know
other
at
one.
the end. Yeah. We have learned if this
Y'all
author is for
already
us or
ruined
not.
it.
Sorry. We have learned if this author is for us or not. We'll let you know at the end. Maybe.
This lady learned what an orgasm was for the first fucking time. And she
This is
learned
why we
that
don't go
she can
live.
squirt.
Is that like a male thing, like a male fantasy thing? Or is that just is that a my ick?
So, from what I
Genuinely
know,
curious.
okay, so I genuinely have an answer.
Like I like is it a my ick like how anal is your ick?
Probably. It
Ugh, I don't want that.
For me,
I
it
don't
has
need
to be
to
in the right conditions. I've
why
done
why
it.
would someone want to feel like they're peeing?
You don't always, it doesn't always feel like you're peeing. How do I know this? Because I had a person who made it their sole goal to make it happen. And then also currently, oh, not currently, because this is not happening currently. I'm not having sex. I'm sorry. And continuously made it
Just
their
because he's
goal.
good for your hole does not mean he's good for your soul.
I'm currently not having any sex. There is no soul taking right now, except for by myself. It doesn't always feel like you're peeing, but it does kind of like it's weird. I think it's just different conditions. I don't like it because it's really messy.
Yeah, well,
And
okay.
I
I
don't like
think
being messy.
I think that's
And
half of it for me. I have a lot of sensory things myself.
yeah,
Like, so
the after
my kid
cleanup,
asked
I
me,
guess.
I don't know why I'm talking about my kid during this part, but my kid asked me the other day, not about this. My kid asked me the other
God,
day.
wait till that conversation. Can you squirt out of your asshole?
And I'm done. He's like,
Sorry.
he's like, fun fact, you can be in water and as long as you're fully submerged, you don't feel wet. And I'm like, yes, you do. And he's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I do.
Mm,
I feel the water when
mm,
I'm in the water because I can feel that.
that's
I
true.
don't, yeah.
Yeah, it's
But he found somebody else to agree with him. But I'm like, no, I feel like I feel everything.
interesting. So it's more so well, the whole internet doesn't care anymore. I don't give a shit. Everyone can know everything. So for me, it doesn't feel like I'm peeing. It just feels like pressure
Under pressure.
being released, but like it doesn't feel like I'm peeing, if that makes sense. So like it's a really, really intense orgasm. And like I didn't know that I did that until I
Oh, you don't
saw
really
the
feel
aftermath. Yeah,
fully.
I didn't feel, I don't know if it's different for other people. For myself personally, like I didn't know that it was happening
Mm.
until afterwards. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, but okay. So like for me, but I just thank God that I have never had to do the cleanup because it's never happened in my own house. So it's other people's problems, not mine. Um,
Speaking of cleanup, we had a Minotaur this week.
we did, and there was buckets of cum.
I am actually
Sorry.
slightly saddened that they didn't make more of a big deal about that.
I know, right? Listen,
But I'm
morning,
glad that
the
it's a
best
me
thing
ick
Morning Glory
versus an
Milking Farm
everybody
ever
ick
did.
thing.
Yeah. The best thing Morning Glory Milking Farm ever did for us was describe the amounts of buckets of cum.
It educated us.
Yeah, on Minotaur cum.
Yes. Yes.
So much.
Thank you
You're welcome.
for that lovely book.
I brought that to the table.
Yes, you did.
That was me. All
Yes,
me,
you did.
baby. Anyways, so
Anyways, yes.
off of the subject of squirting, even though it happens a lot in this book.
We read Married to My Grumpy Minotaur Boss by Amy Wright this week. And yeah, thanks for that.
Listen, I educated you some more. We're doing a lot of educating this episode. This is an educational episode.
And more about us being educated. We like to educate ourselves. I tell the kids at school, like, I have to learn every day too.
And I just taught Ariel something. Okay, listen, this is
There's
coming
just
from
another thing that makes me ick.
there's another thing that makes her ick. She learned more about me that she probably didn't need to know in 20 years, but this is also the woman who voluntarily told me she would take my IUD out for me. So get you a
Still
best
need
friend
to
who's
do
the best.
that.
I know. Get you a best friend who volunteers. Get you two best friends because our other friend also offered.
She'll hold your legs and I'll just
Exactly. See?
we'll each take a
So what happens when you don't have health care?
Can you tell we live in America?
Anyways, wow, we're gonna have a great time. I don't give a shit. Let's do this. Yeah. So,
So,
continuing.
okay. Justine is the female main character in this book, and I just want to preface that if I mess up her name throughout this, it's because I forgot her name almost every single chapter of this book. I don't ask me why. I just had problems.
So I don't think Ariel liked her.
I kept calling her like Janine and just I don't know. I just call her all
I
kinds
could
of
see the
stuff.
Janine because I think that slipped into my brain occasionally was Janine.
So if I mess her name up, that's my bad. But it's Justine. Yeah. So Justine is a junior assistant at Bullseye Media. She is obsessed with their show, Married for a Day, which I finished this book and I still don't fully understand the premise. But
Neither do I, and I don't understand the timeline because I thought it was going to take a lot longer, but then they said it was just yesterday, and I
I
didn't
have
understand.
lots of things to say
All right,
about
cool,
that.
cool,
Yeah.
cool, 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 cool.
So,
I
which
don't
is
want to
why
be married to anyone for a day.
which is why she wanted to work at Bullseye Media. So, unfortunately, though, she doesn't personally work on that show. Her boss is having her sort through cost analysis documents to summarize them for a meeting that the CEO has. Normally, her boss, Asha, would be accompanying Ronan Kurnos, the CEO, to meetings, but Asha has an appointment and needs Justine to go instead. Worse, Asha won't be there the next day either, so Justine needs to be in early to cover. Asha leaves after making sure Justine knows what to do, and Justine finishes up. She's a little excited to get close to the CEO. Ronan is quite the specimen, not to mention he's a Minotaur, and she might have a little itty bitty crush. When it's just about time for the meeting, Justine, see, already throwing it there. Justine heads for Mr. Kurnos' office. He's not there, so she decides to wait for him. His computer pings with an email from Asha with a subject line stating a list of programs she's recommending to cut. I have no idea why we need the FMC to be so fucking stupid this early.
Okay,
Like,
because
why?
we're continuing because the last episode we did, the lady was definitely really dumb and should not be a detective because she's not fucking quiet. And then we've had many FMCs this year where
Yeah.
like they suck.
But I don't get it because it's not endearing to the book.
Girl,
Like,
neither
it's
do
just, it
I.
doesn't give anything
It's
to me.
not
And
giving.
honestly, when you look at the audience, like, don't you want to a little bit? I know that writing is for your own person, but don't you want to like maybe market then to your given audience that it would cater to, this would not cater to a female audience then if it's just going to be like, ew,
Mm.
just throwing it out there. And maybe that's not, maybe I am not speaking for the majority, but I personally don't want to read about females being super stupid because
But
most of the time they're
Ariel, we
not,
need to know how we
unless
need
they
to
have red hats.
act when communism hits the country.
Oh, that's right. Nevertheless, Justine, the nosy idiot, decides to open this man's email and audibly gasps at seeing married for a day on the chopping block. Of course, this reaction and Ronan's impeccable timing catches her in the act. He wants to know what the fuck, and rightly so, but there isn't time. So he tells her that they will discuss this later. He tells her to set up for the meeting, letting her know he needs her to keep time for him since he has another meeting right after and that he can't be late for it.
So I have a question for you. Was it every 10 minutes that she was
Um,
supposed to say something? Okay. Okay. Okay.
that
Okay. Because I got confused.
that he wants her waiting in his office after the second meeting to discuss the issue. They go into the meeting, which he's talking about helping the network because it's trending down. She signals him at the wrong time, but I'm assuming this is an error because he told her to do it every 10 minutes and she did it
At
for the
5 minutes.
5 minutes. So
Okay.
I don't know if, again, she's an idiot or if this was a mistake, but I'm leaning towards a mistake since there were many going on. When the meetings are over, Justine meets the CEO back in his office. He expects an explanation, so she tells him how it popped up and she was nosy, but then she saw and she got frustrated because she feels like the list is short sighted. He wants her to say why she thinks that. Justine tells him how reality TV still has a lot of potential in current markets, and their competitors, who are thriving, still have them, but put spins on them, like making one interactive, etc. She apologizes again and says how she really wants to keep working there. Mr. Kurnos says that since Asha's gone for a couple of days, even though it was only one afternoon and one day before that, he needs her, but will evaluate at the end of the week. Love when continuity doesn't fucking matter. Oh, wait, I don't love that.
I thought that was your favorite thing.
Clearly, that is not. When Ronan picks Justine up in the morning to head to the early meeting, it is very clear that Justine is not a morning person. He stopped for coffee on the way to try to help. Since they have time on the ride, Ronan asks her if she has any other suggestions or input she would like to share, you know, since she volunteered last time. Justine runs with it and tells him she thinks that he should be on Married for a Day himself. That people are obsessed with Minotaurs at the moment since a hot one became the mayor. He shuts that idea all right down. Raising his public profile is not on his list of desires. They finally get to the meeting with the shareholders, and no one in the room looks happy. They actually called the meeting because of his public persona. They don't think his lack of one, and even when he is out at charity events, he's always looking bored, is helping the tanking company. They threaten to pull out. Ronan's like, well, it just so happens that a great idea was just pitched. He tells them about being on Married for a Day, and it seems like they're willing to try it. But fuck, that means he has to do it.
And not butt fuck.
No. Evidently, he isn't as knowledgeable about the inner workings of Married for a Day as Janine is. Nope, Justine is. So when he's told about things like taking the next 3 weeks off to film or at home stays, he's like, what the actual fuck? He especially does not want a stranger in his house. He tells her to rent one that he can pose to use as his. He says he will send her a list of what he likes for her to find a suitable candidate. That's not usually how it works, but he is the boss. Sort of taking the magic out of it for her, but you know. When he sends over his list, it's pretty specific. He doesn't care about the species, just no beaks, but wants
I
no
want to know if he
annoyances.
had like a horrible experience
I
with someone with a
know.
beak.
Like, what's the beak thing? Is that
Hmm.
kind of like the ick thing with the squirting thing? Like, what's the beak? Does it just give him the ick?
Maybe it's similar to the ick of the weapons.
Yeah, it's just no
Kind of like a
beaks.
weapon.
Yeah, no
Peck
beaks.
his dick off.
Oh, maybe that. He doesn't want blowjobs from no beaks. I mean,
I need to let you.
would you want to put that in that death trap? She has three that almost seem right, but each has something minor that might be a problem. She just decides on a quiet fitness instructor when Asha calls. Turns out she won't be returning after, actually. She's putting in her notice instead. Mr. Kurnos then calls,
Bye.
right?
Actually, peace the fuck out, guys. Bye.
Right? Mr. Kurnos then calls Justine into his office. He's going to advertise for both the senior and junior assistant position and give Justine the opportunity to apply for the senior one against the other candidates. After all, she will be working that job in the interim. He would also like her to schedule him a doctor's appointment as soon as possible, as he just got notice of test results and he's expecting her to be discreet. On the first day of filming, it's the meet to travel to the location. The fitness instructor doesn't show. Something about her mother having issues with monsters. Oh, that's nice.
I do remember in most monster books we've read, most humans do not
Right.
like them cross
There's some.
species.
Right. It's almost like there's some
Species. That's the right word, right?
like
I don't know.
racism, huh?
Kinda. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Weird.
yeah, weird. The film crew is losing daylight. People are freaking out. Justine is trying to reschedule, but Ronan in all the chaos just turns to Justine and says, well, she's a woman. She'll do.
No.
When she tries to say she can't, he says why? That both their schedules have been cleared for the next few weeks, and it was her idea. The least she could do is help to make it happen. She's like, well,
Excuse you?
she didn't pack. She says she didn't pack. One of the crew chimes in that she's actually about the same size as the lady that they prepared for. And Ronan says, perfect.
What a coinky dink.
Right? Weird. That would
I,
never happen.
I'm Ariel. What a coinky dink.
They board the yacht and set off for their destination. Justine is swooped away to get fitted into her bridal gown, because that's how this starts out. And Ronan is amazed at what was previously his sloppy assistant being transformed into the goddess of his dreams walking down the aisle. And if the daddy comments weren't ick enough for me thus far in the beginning of the book, this is where this book loses me. Because if a man can't appreciate a woman without makeup and fancy clothes and hair, then he doesn't fucking deserve her. I don't care if he has a monster dick. Just saying.
It's the fact that you followed it up with the daddy of it all to this being where it lost you. This is before all the daddy shit, even. So,
Right. There was a couple mentions previous right to this.
mm.
This is the part that I was like, this is not for
Honestly,
me. This is the
facts.
part
And
I would have DNF'd if we were not recording this book.
so I understand that people are visual creatures. I decide to look like a trash goblin on a daily basis because
Hello.
right, I
I
think
barely brush my hair.
I only wear makeup if I go out, like,
I never
and
wear
that's
makeup.
anymore. You used to always wear makeup though.
Yeah, but I
It's a
don't
lot
actually know
of
how to do makeup
work
anymore,
and
and
it's
it's a lot of work.
expensive and it's just, it's a whole thing.
You say used to, that was like 20 years ago.
I think it stopped when you had a kid.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And
um,
he's going into high school.
oh, kill me.
So,
But yeah, I agree that I look like a completely different person without makeup. And a man needs to love me when I look like I have been living in a bed nest for the past 2 days because that's exactly what I've
who's a
been
grumpy
doing.
old troll who lives under the bridge?
But
Me.
like I am a trash goblin. I'm a trash panda. I want to be a raccoon. That sounds great. Anyways, off topic. But no, like I fully agree that, and especially, and if you're gonna write like a book too, like a lot of us read the books to kind of
We
get
want
out
the
of that. We want it,
fantasy of the man that like we fantasize
want to
about,
no
not
matter what.
right.
Like not
We don't
the,
want this fucking trash with a dumbass woman.
I literally can get that kind of a man any time of day
It just
in my
keeps
real
getting
life.
worse. Don't worry.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did say good girl, but that was, and that was fine. But There's a lot of other things.
I was already too far gone. I was already gone.
Okay.
I was
Anyways.
bye. They go through the introductions and married, for a day ceremony. Some spots several times because, this is a TV show. And then they kiss and are pulled apart to do confessionals.
Pulled
Ronan
apart like
hates
bread.
that shit.
Just kidding.
That sounds delicious. They
Right.
sit down to a table set up to drink and get to know each other with question cards to help. And then they send them off on mini dates after that. A wine tour, a baking class, a dinner date, and then off to the cabin for the wedding night
Now
scene.
listen, all of this sounds fun though, and I want to do all of those things, but not in this kind of a context.
Maybe we can just do
Honestly,
those as like a girl's day.
ooh, yeah, I mean, we are soulmates.
Right. I was actually just talking to Angie about having an axe throwing party. So, that'd be cool too.
I love axe throwing. It's so fun. I did that for my 30th. I did axe throwing and I got to throw ninja stars.
Ooh.
That shit was so fun. I love axe throwing. It's so
Yeah.
fun. I want to go to a rage room so
Ooh, me
bad.
too. That'd be fun.
Throw on some Taylor Swift and just start smashing shit.
So we should pitch this to Angie.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Trash the dress. Rage room.
I love that.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if she's into that kind of thing, but just an idea.
If I
And if
ever,
she's not, I will find at like a thrift shop or something, some kind of bridal gown that we can trash the dress and
okay.
hire somebody to take pictures or something.
Oh my God. We should do in like September ish. Bear with me here. Okay. Follow the thought process. I know that we have a book to discuss. In September, for our like 21st friendship anniversary, you and I should get dressed up and go find a rage room and get pictures taken and then also throw axes and just do things and just fuck shit up. And
We could
that's our
dress
thing.
up as princesses. I could be Belle. I could be Belle. You could be, yeah. Just saying.
We're gonna forget about this, but I love this idea so much.
But it's in recording. So,
Oh, that is true. Okay, anyways.
okay.
Sorry.
It's where we do our best work.
Half of our best work because the other half is when I forget to hit record.
Yes. Or we're like, oh, damn, we should have been recording this. Anywho, yeah. So, yeah, the wedding night scene is a room with one bed filled with cameras. Ronan wants to know who gets the bed, since the only other option is a small chair.
I also want to know why they were surprised there was only going to be one bed.
She's not. She's watched the show many
I know.
times. He did not pay attention in the briefing, as we will learn throughout
I
this whole book.
understand that, but if you would think married for a day, you have to be married. Wouldn't you assume you share a
These
bed?
two main characters are the biggest fucking idiots.
They
Hold
are
on, I just need to
bigger
take
idiots
something out
than
of the
some of
oven.
the other men I have dated. Okay.
That's saying something, folks.
I know. I've dated a lot of stupid men.
Ronan wants to know who gets the bed since the only other option is a small chair. Justine sighs and tells him he can have the bed. Murder. Fucking murder. And Ronan gets in and goes to fucking sleep. Dead. Fucking bye. Go bye. Goodbye, boy. Bye. In his fucking sleep. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Did she save any cutlery from earlier?
No. Boy, bye.
Boy, bye. In the night, Justine is woken by Ronan yelling in the middle of a nightmare. She tries to comfort him, and he asks her to stay with him, and they both fall back asleep. However, Ronan is not happy when he wakes with her in bed with him, and he insists that he does not, in fact, talk in his sleep.
First of all, you
And
don't know that you don't talk in your sleep, bitch, because you don't hear yourself.
right, and she needs to be better about respecting boundaries. The crew knocks on the door, saying it's time to start filming.
The silence after that.
They go out and have breakfast with more cue cards and then go for a golfing mini date. And then they go get their swimsuits to play truth or dare in a hot tub.
Because that sounds like the perfect spot to do that.
Yeah, well, the questions are personal. So 3 days later, Justine is in Ronan's lap and they are kissing until Ronan gets up, sets her aside, and stomps off like the little fucking baby maggot he is.
It's because he wants to fuck her.
I know, but I don't care. They don't get much of a cool off break before everyone is called back for a picnic dinner. As a peace offering for being a dick, since Justine seems to be walking on eggshells around him, Ronan offers to share the bed that evening. How fucking gracious of you, buddy. But with a line of pillows between them. This guy can go fucking die in a hole. Justine wakes to Ronan holding her. No more pillows between them. She tries to scooch away from him, but that wakes him up and he's fucking pissed, saying, "Where are the pillows?" and how he said no touching. She's like, "What the fuck?" and runs into the bathroom, slamming the door.
The thing is, it's like you
The
can't control
whiplash.
that in your sleep, man.
Mm-hmm.
Whiplash. Whiplash. Sorry, it's that
The
Esco song stuck in my
crew
head.
comes in
Whiplash.
saying time to film. The weather is not good, which is why yesterday they had suggested to postpone the activities, but Ronan said no stalling. They head to the yacht to head for another island for an orienteering course. When they get there, Justine sees why the producer was so worried, as there are only rocks to lead to the island, not an actual docking point. But Ronan insists they are fitted with supplies and body cameras, and the two are dropped off. The crew will return at 3 when they complete the course. They follow the clues, Ronan trying to rush through, Justine hurting her ankle, and Ronan realizing she was hiding it because she's scared of him. And he scoops her up to carry her through the next clues. It's still not doing well, but she doesn't want to tell him as he's been carrying her all over. They finish the last clue at a dilapidated cabin and head to the meet point. Sure enough, the water is too choppy from the weather, and the boat can't get close enough to pick them up. The boat hollers to them that they will try again in a few hours, and if that doesn't work, they'll come back in the morning.
Guess what they're
And
gonna do, guys?
and they toss supplies for them.
They had no plans. They had no plans to come back till the morning. None at all. They're like, nah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Ronan carries Justine back to the cabin, mad at himself for putting them in this situation, as you should be, sir.
Because it is his fucking fault.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot.
Asshole.
He's a man.
He's a
Surprise.
man. Apparently, that's all it takes for a 180 to happen in his mind, because once they're at the cabin, Ronan asks about a question Justine chose stare instead of answering that had to do with sex and how much she thought was adequate and yada, yada, yada. And she is talking about how her ex thought she was a freak for wanting more and wanting passion, and how he used to tell her that real people weren't like that.
Okay, listen, bitch.
And
First of all, I don't believe you're as much of a sex freak as we think you are.
I don't think so either. Ronan tells her monsters are and asks if she wants him to prove it. So suddenly things are changing.
Okay, so I did get hints that he was horny for her for a bit. So like,
Yes,
but this just
but he
finally
was
snaps
so
it.
like,
Yeah.
sure that he wasn't going to touch her. She says
Well, you're
yes,
stranded on an island with one bed, guys.
and he undresses her and goes down on her until she squirts. And then he says enough and walks out. When he comes back, he finds Justine crying. She asks if she's really that bad. And he tells her no, that he just couldn't stay and not fuck her.
Okay.
Well, no one said you couldn't, but okay.
Fuck me then. I don't.
Right? She's shivering, so he gets wood for the fire. And she asks to cuddle for warmth since they already broke the no touching rule. They do and wake up together in the morning. They never fucking went back to find the boat or anything.
No.
They didn't even try.
They got distracted. We know that boat was not coming back.
No. Ronan asks her if she needs him to show her again. Eye roll. Pick a lane, buddy. Like, in or out.
He wants to be
come
in
on,
and
go
out.
in and out. Come on. He has her grind against him to get off. They head back to meet the boat and get back. And this is their last evening before the TV couple is supposed to choose if they want to continue further and try things out in the real world. That night, under the covers, he fingers Justine before they go to sleep. And in the morning, after pacing back and forth,
And it should
Ronan,
be noted, I'm sorry, and it should be noted that they try to do it covertly because there is cameras fucking everywhere and they don't want really people to know what's going on, but they're kind of gonna know what's going on. But
they use covers and pillows.
Yo,
Blankets and
dude.
pillows, yeah. And in the morning, after pacing back and forth, Ronan puts yes on his choice card to continue. When the time comes, Justine's card also says yes, at her surprise. He says it's good for ratings, because he's a fucking asshole. So this is going to start a week of being in his home. They head to go to the rented place that's staging as Ronan's. They unpack, and Ronan says that they have dinner reservations. At the restaurant, Justine is so nervous. She just orders the same thing that Ronan has. It works though because he shows her how to eat the oysters. Afterwards, the film crew takes off, leaving them devices for confessional entries, and then they are alone. Ronan asks Justine if she needs help sleeping again. She says yes, that she wants him. He says he wants that too, that they're both adults. The cameras are gone. They can have pleasure as long as they know that that is what it is. Yeah, we get it, Ronan. That's your speak of just sex. Ronan takes off her clothes and goes down on her, and then he disrobes himself and has her suck his dick, and then he fucks her from behind until he pulls out and comes all over her in the buckets, with the buckets, not in the
Because he
buckets.
asked her if she was on birth control, and she like you can't
Was
ask that
in
mid
the
sex,
throes, yeah.
and she was like, yeah, and he didn't. I guess he just didn't believe her, so he just
Yeah,
decided
he
not even
wasn't
to
sure of
test
her
it.
answer, yeah.
Then you should have just not even asked and just asked. Why didn't you ask before, or just
Right?
ask? I don't know.
After he cleans the mess, they go to bed. In the morning, the film crew arrive to film them having breakfast. Ronan tells Justine that he has to go into work for a bit, but he scheduled her some spa time and got her an invite to a book signing that he finds out just so happens to be her favorite smutty author. She's super excited about this, and he was like, awesome sauce. Ronan has trouble focusing at work and ends up leaving early so he can see Justine be excited at the book signing. He enjoys it very much, though. As she's getting her book signed, he gets a call from the producer reminding him about the family dinner part that evening. Something he was not paying attention to in the itinerary meeting. You know, apparently he was paying attention to nothing. His mom texts him shortly after, telling him how excited she is, but also why didn't he tell her? They meet back at the fake house with Justine's mother and stepfather and Ronan's mother. It sort of goes okay until his mom outs him about it not really being his place. And then the talk turns to children, and his mom talks about how proud his dad, who died suddenly of a heart condition, would be of him and how she knows that he's worried about it passing on to him. And he erupts and yells for everyone to leave.
And
How
his
it's
mom is
not
such a nice person, and like she's trying to be supportive and all this other stuff, and he's like,
how it's
man.
not real, just a stunt. Everybody out. Yeah. Yeah. When no one leaves fast enough, Ronan leaves instead. After everyone else finally leaves, Justine calls Ronan to see if he's okay. He tells her he's at his actual house and asks her to come. When she arrives, he goes right to her and starts to kiss her neck. He needs the distraction, needs her. She's like fab. They fuck. After, she asks him to talk about his outburst. He tells about his father's condition and how it's genetic, and he wouldn't want to pass that on to a child. The appointment that he needs to go to that he keeps pushing off should tell him that, of course, he surely has it. He tells her he's going to miss her when this is all over in a week. So here's the thing. I just want to remind you. So we got to the house. That was the start of the week. They had dinner. They woke up the next morning, had breakfast, did the book signing, and had dinner with the family. And now they're at Ronan's house. That's all like basically within the span of 24 hours, right? It's supposed to be a week at his house, but that was 24 hours. And now, apparently, it's time for the next week. That week's over.
Yeah, I was confused.
Time in this book did not exist. In that, there was lots of instances, but this one was a very clear cut, like in the morning, they go to meet the crew. Normally on the show, it's the bride's turn to host for her week at her house. Maybe it would be only 24 hours in this land. But but they tell the couple that they are shaking things up. The next week instead will be used to test limits and the couple's relationship. Once again, they have the couples do the answer card for wanting to continue. Ronan's says yes, but Justine's says no. Since they both don't agree, it is immediately over. Ronan plasters a mask on, and when Justine apologizes, he just tells her it's for the best.
Because
Some
he's
are,
trying to protect his tiny little baby man, Felix.
yep, some arbitrary amount of time later, because we really don't have a fucking clue in this book, goes by.
It's like what the fuck is that show? And and the things doesn't matter. And the points don't matter.
Nothing matters.
Yeah,
Oh, the whose
it's
line is it anyways or whatever?
that one.
Yep, yeah. Ronan's unhappy and he's missing Justine, who he had HR transfer to another subdivision of his company. So
His
now
dick
she's
is
working at a
just
magazine.
his dick is just sad, okay?
Yeah. He asks HR for her number, which is odd because didn't he have it before? I mean, she did call him to go that night and they texted, but I don't know, wild fucking times. He texts her, but he doesn't get a reply. So that Friday, he goes to her new job to see her. When he finds her, he tells her he saw her exit interview, that he wants to try to fix it for her since she didn't feel like she got a romantic experience. He wants to take her to Paris for a weekend. Even with her heart at risk, she agrees. He even stocked the plane with books from her favorite author from the signing. And once they arrive, they have a picnic and do museum tours. They don't make it to the spa treatment though because they get a little heated in the car and go back to the hotel instead, and they fuck there. He basically tells her that he wants her to be his fuck buddy because that's all he can do. He can do exclusive with her fuck buddies, but he's not the marrying kind or relationship kind.
Those are the type of men that you stay away from.
Yeah.
You cannot fix them.
No.
I know you want to, and I myself am a fixer and I want to fix certain men. You can't fix them. I'm sorry.
No.
I know I'm speaking to myself at this moment. You cannot fix them.
She reluctantly says okay, that they'll just take it one day at a time. She thinks she can win him over, that he just needs like exposure and experience and all that, but she's
Exposure
fooling herself.
exposure therapy is not going to work, okay?
Remember, she's dumb.
That's true.
So once again, an undetermined amount of time has passed, and now the show has started airing. So it's got to be some good amount of time. And Ronan tells Justine that a morning show wants to schedule an interview with them within the next month because ratings are high. So a month later, they sit down with the show. The host goes for the jugular and calls Justine out for saying no and asks if she's dating now. Ronan doesn't respond well to this. So the host digs into him, saying, well, if he doesn't want to date her, she needs to find someone that does. And it just spirals and does not go well. Justine ends up running off stage. He runs after her. She says she can't do it anymore, that she will always want more. He says it doesn't have to be black and white. She says it does for her, and she leaves. Ronan goes into a spiral panic, and the pain in his chest is too much. He feels like this is it, the curse of his father's shit.
Listen, this is real. This
Yeah.
is me.
And he barely manages to call 911 as his vision blacks. Justine hears the sirens and heads back with a bad feeling and finds Ronan being loaded into an ambulance. They try to stop her from going, but Ronan says that she's his wife. Ronan tells her she was wrong and apologizes and asks her to marry him for real. That
First of all, no man
was
is going to
wild.
apologize. That is the biggest part of the fantasy. Not
They
that he's a
take
Minotaur, that he apologized.
they take him into the hospital and back through the doors. And when she hears word that he's stable, she texts him to say she needs time and that she will call him, and she leaves. So, shock, awe, it was just a panic attack. No way.
Panic attacks suck, though.
Yeah,
It's,
but he thought he was dying because
I get it.
men think
Okay,
that.
I will say those are how my panic attacks feel. Is it feels like I'm having a heart attack and I'm gonna die. But he is
Well,
also a man
that's why
who's
most women
annoying.
don't know they're having a heart attack.
Oh, I could have been having heart attacks this whole time. Every time I
Yeah.
went to the doctor, they're like, it's a panic attack. I'm like, you sure? Because my heart is not feeling great.
Yeah. Well, women actually have a higher tolerance, and yet but anyway, yeah, you should be inside my body when I'm ovulating. Okay.
You should just be inside my body at
At
any
any
wait,
take point time, yeah.
wait. Please don't be inside my body without my consent.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So Ronan calls the studio to go back on the show and try to fix shit. Justine watches at home as he talks with the host and tells the entire true story and apologizes and begs Justine through the camera to let him see her. Justine goes to his house to see him. He offers to beg. He tells her he loves her and asks her to marry him again. Justine, the dumb bitch, says yes, and he tells her she's his mate, that it's rare, but he knows it to be true.
Listen, it was rare. He was there, and he knows it all too well.
But so, okay, here's the thing.
I'm sorry.
They made this whole big deal about this medical thing, and he never went to the appointment.
I okay. Okay.
Right? Am I wrong? Did I miss that part because I was just too
And
frustrated?
my brain is too far in the gutter, right? Like, as a heads up, guys, I'm having like a really bad brain rot problem lately because my brain just went to when you said it. Am I wrong? She came down in a bubble, bro. That's all my head is right now. I'm so sorry. No, you're not wrong.
So, but is that like the biggest plot hole? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't get it either. I don't understand. I'm done. I'm so sorry.
I just don't understand. But Daddy, I don't understand. Anyway,
But Daddy,
so
I love him.
that was the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Well, that's one way to put it.
You
Oh,
never, life,
fuck.
you know,
Life
we
finds
are
a
like a
way.
box of chocolates. You never
I
know what you're gonna get.
I was going Jurassic Park. You're going Forrest Gump. What is going on? God, we're such a mess. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, who was your favorite?
Asha, who knew how to piece the fuck out.
Solid. I love that. I agree. Asha got the fuck out.
She looked around and said, fuck nope.
She didn't
Bye.
want
She
she
saw
didn't
a
want to
sinking
fuck around
ship.
or find out. She
No,
was like,
she
"Nah,
saw a
bro."
sinking ship and she was like, I'm not going to be on that.
Nope, bye. All right, how about your least favorite?
Everyone else, no. The main characters mostly, especially
Honestly, I
him.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a
Like
rough time.
I
I really
am
did not like them.
I am all for a grumpy man. We all know this. We
Absolutely.
all know that I fuck with that shit
I,
so hard and
dude, they're
it's
usually
so
my
good.
favorites. Are you kidding me?
The grumpy ass cinnamon rolls. But that's the
But I'm
thing.
sorry.
They've got to have the cinnamon roll
The
part to
well,
them.
I don't even need the cinnamon roll. I just need the grumpy ones that are just like that have that love their women
Yes.
unconditionally, no matter what. Like
Right. And like so there
he
is like
made her sleep in a chair.
yeah. So here's the thing. It's like I've definitely read plenty of books where the man is kind of a dick, but he's got redeeming qualities in them.
He has no redeeming qualities. She
He
has
is
no
right up.
redeeming qualities.
Okay, yeah, no. So Amazon gives us a 4.3 and Goodreads a 3.9. What is your
What did you
rating?
rate it? Oh,
Neither have I. A 2?
yeah, I was gonna go with
Why
a
did you
two.
whisper that as if we
I don't
don't
know.
need that recorded, Ariel? What is
I
wrong
don't
with
know.
us today?
Yeah, I was going with a two
All
too.
right, we're gonna go with a 2 for all of the reasons of everything we discussed in this book.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm done giving this a whirl.
Yeah, this is our second book by this author. So
It's
if
just not for
this
me. It's just
it's
not for
not
me.
the author is just not for us. It could be for other people. If this was your vibe, I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And again, with the other one, which was the unicorn one, I'm glad you vibed with that one, and that's fine. And maybe this author is for you. It's just not for us. We will never
But
police what
okay,
anyone should read, but at the
yeah,
same time,
there are
this is
just
our
certain things
podcast
in
and this is
certain
our
books,
opinions.
right, that people like and people don't like. Like, I genuinely vibe with most of Emily Antoinette's stuff, right?
Oh, same.
But she had one book that came out that it was a super hardcore daddy. And did I still try to go through it? It was like exhaustingly slow for me to get through, even though it was basically a novella, because that is not for me.
But we've also read other books by her, and we've brought one of the books to the table here,
Right.
and we loved it.
And
So that's the thing. But like
there are,
this is now the
not
second.
everything is going to be a hit, but obviously but we didn't like the characters in the last one either.
No,
I need to like the characters.
that and
Something.
this isn't even in the same series. So this is the same author, completely two separate series. They did mention the other series in this book briefly.
Oh, this person agreed. They said that was the characters were just trash.
Yeah,
So for our cucumber rating, I would say this book had the potential to be a Serrano, but for me it was a jalapeno.
agree.
Solid. And survivability, I would survive, but I probably would have stabbed the man with
I wouldn't have
when
been
it
as
came to the bed.
wine,
Absolutely not.
but yeah, I
And I
probably would
probably
have
wouldn't
been.
have been in this situation to begin with because I wouldn't have snooped on his emails.
Yeah, I'm like I'm nosy, but I'm not that nosy,
Mm.
First of all, okay. Here's the other thing is like wouldn't that affect your job? Like that is not your job. bitch, what are you doing?
Uh-huh. It's wild. Just wild.
I wouldn't even snoop through my ex-boyfriend's phone.
Right? Like, it's just, I don't
Even
know,
though I'm
just wild.
curious, I
I
don't want
know.
to get my feelings hurt.
Well, not only that, but
And
it's
also
not my
it's
business.
not my
Yeah.
business. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's great. That's so crazy. But especially like a boss thing, like that
I
was
don't even snoop on my
absolutely.
kid's phone. Like,
Oh, I do.
he shows me a lot of shit, but
Oh yeah, no, my kid hides a lot of stuff, so I have to. But anyways, no, I just like, especially job wise, like you never know. There could be like stuff in there that you're not supposed to see because it's like confidential and all that other. Absolutely not. You would never catch me doing that. That's shit's fucking crazy. I'd be fine though. Yes,
yeah.
survivability. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So,
Wild.
next week.
Next week. All right, we're at the end of the wheel, man.
I know we got 2 left.
What the fuck?
All right, press the button. Flawless.
By Elsie Silver.
Yes. And now, is this, correct me if I'm wrong, is this one that you have read before or not read before?
So this is one that I have read. It has been a while. So I actually own the physical books because Angie, I don't remember if it was for my birthday or for Christmas, sent me every single book in this series. So yes, so we are going to read, and it is a good trope of mine. I love a small town romance. I love an enemies to lovers. This is like everything that I need in the world. So,
Oh, yeah.
without further ado,
The rules were simple. Keep my hands off his daughter and stay out of trouble. But now I'm stuck with her. There's only one bed. Again with the one bed. And well, rules were made to be broken. I'm the face of professional bull riding, the golden boy. Or at least I was until it all blew up in my face. Now, my agent says I have to clean up my image. So I'm stuck with his bull busting daughter for the rest of the season as my full time supervisor. But I don't need a goddamn babysitter, especially one with skin tight jeans, a sexy smirk, and a mouth she can't stop running.
is this book about me?
A mouth I can't stop thinking about.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
Because Summer isn't just another conquest. She sees the man behind the mask and she doesn't run. She pulls me closer, even when she shouldn't. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. She says there are boundaries we shouldn't cross, that my reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. I say I'm going to steal it anyway. So, listen, I don't know what this says about me,
Well, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
but I feel like I can't fully trust people who don't refrigerate their ketchup.
Who doesn't refrigerate their ketchup?
There are people.
How did we go from the description of this book to ketchup?
It's
Here,
it's a it's a wild place.
if anyone ever watches this full video back, they'd be like, "What the hell happened?"
Folks, that's how our brain works.
Yeah. Who doesn't refrigerate their ketchup? Okay, so
People,
okay,
people.
okay. So I don't do it if I buy multiples. I store the extra
So
one in my
no,
cupboard.
unopened ketchup. Yes, I meant
Okay.
opened ketchup.
But open ketchup, absolutely not. I need to cool down my fries as I dip them a little bit.
Well, it's not even about that. The
And I
bottle
can't.
literally says refrigerate after
Oh,
opening.
that too. But like, sorry. But like, who? Where did that
People are
thought
gonna tell
come
me they're
from?
gonna stop refrigerating their jelly now too.
People don't refrigerate their jelly.
I don't know. I was just saying. I was just throwing it out there. People are gonna stop refrigerating their milk.
That's so crazy.
Right?
All of my condiments are refrigerated
Yeah.
except for peanut butter
Right. But that's not well.
because
I
it's
guess kind
weird.
of it is a condiment, but
Yeah, but it's weird if you refrigerate it. Unless you have those like jelly peanut butter combo things,
then
which I
I
don't really.
refrigerate it.
Well,
But
I
I
don't.
don't get
Well,
those.
yeah, but I don't like those. I don't.
No. And that's literally basically sugar in a jar.
Well, yeah. You're talking to a lady who ate almost 12 mini cupcakes by herself over the course of like 4 days.
Fantastic.
Okay, but hear me out. They're mini cupcakes, and I ate them over a period of 4 days. So it's realistically only like three a day, and they're tiny, and it's okay.
No judgment.
Yeah. You're eating a salad right now, and I'm talking about eating cupcakes.
I'm actually eating green beans and chicken.
Oh, healthy. I drank.
They're those like Frenchy green beans, so that they look kind of like
Mm,
yeah.
I don't even know what I'm having for dinner.
Well,
Anyways,
earlier I ate leftover spinach pasta bake, but I was still kind of like
I ate
munchy,
my
so.
soup and my Caesar salad that I ordered from Outback last night
Mm.
because I ate all the chicken tenders from Outback and then I ate the bread, the entire loaf of bread that they sent me.
I think I'm gonna make steak and cheese tomorrow.
I literally sat in my bed, I heated up the bread in the microwave, the little loaf that the Outback has, and I cut it up and then I ate it in my bed, dipping it in butter. Okay. Like that was how my night went. Anyways, so join us next week as
As we
we
wind
read.
down our wheel.
Yeah. Oh my, it's crazy. Which also means that we have to come up in our brain holes of different books that we need to read coming up. So,
So
any
if you have
recommend
ideas or recommendations or suggestions, send them our way.
comment them on YouTube, on Spotify, email
Send them on
us,
TikTok,
TikTok,
Instagram,
Instagram. There's one
all the
girl who's been
places.
commenting all across the Instagram lately, and I absolutely love that. So, my dear, I know that you are behind on episodes and you probably won't get this episode for a while, but if you hear this, just know I love this for me. And I get to interact with these people every single day, and it is probably my favorite time of the day because I don't talk to other humans besides Ariel. And with that, next week, we're going to dive into Small Town Enemies to Lovers, and it's going to be fantastical, and it's going to be great. And Ariel's going to have a good time.
Is it enemies to lovers?
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you not read the description?
I did. I just didn't know if it was enemies to lovers
I
vibes.
also said enemies to lovers when I read the description the first time, but Ariel doesn't pay attention to me because she hates me. Okay, actually, no, she doesn't hate me.
My memory is like
I know.
sometimes a snail.
We
And
are
sometimes I can
goldfish.
remember
We are goldfish.
things ridiculously, and
Yeah.
sometimes I cannot.
We're basically goldfish or elephants. No in between.
No in
So
between.
the lady who thinks that we hate each other, who commented on Spotify recently, I promise we do not. We don't listen to each other sometimes. It's fine.
It's
That
more
comes
like
with 20
we've
years of
been
friendship.
together for so long that it's more like sibling bickery.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's fine. So, anyways, with that,
Make sure to keep reading.
and keep it smutty.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.